So you're thinking about moving to Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys, and more specifically, Stuarts Draft. Well, in today's video, Stefan and I are going to talk to you about the pros and the cons of living in Stuarts Draft. And we're going to get started right now.
If this is your first time at the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, playing in Virginia's mountains and valleys, then click on that subscribe button and touch that bell icon so you can be the first to be notified about all the current real estate market here in Virginia's mountains and valleys. Hi, my name's Stefan Gleason.
And I'm Leslie Gleason.
And we get phone calls and emails every day from folks just like you and you and you who are looking to make a move to Virginia's mountains and valleys, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days
or 90,
pick up the phone and give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. That information's all in the description down below, and we'll be happy to help you make your move to Virginia's mountains and valleys as smooth as possible. Now, as Leslie mentioned earlier in the video, today we're going to look at Stuarts Draft, and we're going to talk about some of its pros and some of its cons. And so I guess to start out with, looking at some of its pros, I would say that its location overall is a pro. There's some cons to it, but overall it's a pro. And I would encourage you to go on and watch our map video that I talk a lot more about the location, where specifically it's located. But basically, Stuarts Draft sits about 15 minutes south of Waynesboro, about 20 minutes southeast of Stanton. You're about 45 minutes away to Charlottesville, Virginia. You're 35 minutes up to Harrisonburg and 35 minutes down to Lexington up Interstate 81. If you want to get to Washington, D.C., it's about 2 hours and 45 minutes, about 2.5 hours to get to the airports there. If you want to get to Richmond, it's about 1.5 hours to get there and about 1 hour and 15 minutes to the airport in Richmond. And if you want to go to the beach on the weekends, that's one of the great things about living out here. You only got about a 3.5 hour drive to get all the way down to Virginia Beach. So you have the opportunity to be at the beach on the weekends and enjoy the mountain views through the rest of the weekend. I might as well add it's generally a lot cooler up here in the valley as well. But like I say, I think its location is a pretty good location, especially because just north of Stuarts Draft here, Interstate 64 and Interstate 81 come together, so you can go north and south, east and west very quickly on the interstates that are here.
So Stefan was saying, the location is great in Stuarts Draft. Let's talk about shopping. All right, ladies. Is there very much shopping to be done in Stuarts Draft? Well, that's kind of a con, unfortunately. Because of the proximity that we have to Waynesboro and to Stanton, those are the ones that have the major shopping. Stuarts Draft, not so much. We have one grocery store other than the cheese shop, and we have a Food Lion here. As far as restaurants go, we have a couple of brand name restaurants and a couple of mom and pop restaurants. We do have some place that a lot of people love to go to around here, especially at Christmas time. They have a very special Christmas thing. It's Country Connections, and it's a huge 2-story old converted barn that she's made into a lovely store. So I know there's a lack of shopping in Stuarts Draft. Let's talk about a pro. Horse riding. Y'all know that I used to love to ride horses. And we have a lot of land around Stuarts Draft, and we have houses with a lot of acreage on it. So that is a perk for living in Stuarts Draft. We do have a couple of local stables as well. So if you want to stable a horse or you want the opportunity to go riding at the stables, there's a couple of those. Of course, Stefan talked about the Virginia Horse Center in Lexington, and it's huge. So those are just a couple of things.
Yeah, no doubt. And go back and watch the Lexington video of that. That really is a treasure that we have here in the Shenandoah Valley here in this area. All right, so let's talk about recreation. Okay. Is there a lot of recreation around Stuarts Draft? Yes. Yeah. Right in Stuarts Draft? Not so much. So as far as the town can be concerned, it will be a con, but it's hard to measure that. You're talking about a town of a little over 12,000 people, okay? Right. And it's also such a rural town and a farming town, along with the industries that are here as well, that it just has never really, and it's spread out. The town is spread out, and it's not a large town center, and it really hasn't developed. It's got a small park downtown and everything, but it really hasn't developed much of a recreational facility. But here's the thing: you have the Appalachian Trail 15 minutes away. You have opportunities to kayak and to canoe and to tube and to raft and whatever you'd like to do on a lot of the rivers around the area that are within 15, 20, 30 minutes away. Exactly. And maybe you don't like to get out and hike and do things, you always take a great ride down the Blue Ridge Parkway, or go up there to Waynesboro. You can go north and get on Skyline Drive as well. So there are plenty of opportunities for recreation. I have to give it a con because right in town there's not, and we're specifically talking about the town, but that shouldn't deter a person from enjoying the recreation that is in the area here as well. And along with that recreation, one of the neat things about the area, of course, and as a pro, is its mountain views and its sunsets.
We love it. We really do. We love, there's a road near us here called Indian Ridge, and Stephanie and I love driving up and down it in sunset, even though you're not facing into the sun. It's the glow on the mountains from the sunset. It's just gorgeous. Sunrises are beautiful as well around here. So we do have some incredible views. Of course, the other pro is country living. So Stephen talked about the industrial and manufacturing industries around here, but like he also said, we have so much country living around here. We are surrounded by sheep and cows, and I call him my babaz. He makes fun of me, but I love the sheep.
She talks to him all the time.
Yeah, they're better than, okay, we're not going to go there.
Leslie Doolittle.
Yeah. So yeah, the sheep and the goats and the cows around here, it's just very pastoral setting.
Yeah, it really is, and we really enjoy that. That's why I say if you're looking for that vibe, it's a town, and because it's so spread out and it's very much neighborhood oriented, different neighborhoods around town. I mean, there's a town center where there's a lot of the older town, I guess you would say, in the older houses, but there's a lot of houses and a lot of neighborhoods out, and each one kind of has their own vibe to them as well. And a lot of them have mountain views as well, and it's hard not to get a mountain view here in this area. And then along with that country vibe that you get, it's just like you're in the country. And if you want to be in the country, Stuarts Draft is a good place to be in the country, but you still have things that you need that are close enough. You need to pick up some bread and milk. You can go to the grocery store. If you need to go to a hardware store, there's an Ace hardware store here in town. You can pick up some stuff there to work on your house. And so there's things that are around that are definitely a help here, but you definitely get that country vibe. So
absolutely.
And in addition to Leslie's country vibe, of course, we mentioned earlier that there are multiple manufacturing facilities here. There's 7 major ones here in the Stuarts Draft area. With that being said, employment opportunities are a definite pro here in Stuarts Draft. There are literally hundreds of people that are employed by these manufacturing facilities, and very frequently I'm seeing offers for jobs that are, many of them paying more than $20 an hour, and or more even sometimes, along with bonuses. And one thing also, in addition to the manufacturing jobs, of course, these places have supervisors. And I'm going to let Leslie talk about that a little bit, because we've been able to help folks both from the manufacturing side who are working the line or whatever, but we've also been able to help folks as well move into the area where their companies moved them.
Right. So I do work with relocation companies. So I recently had the opportunity to work with 2 people who are working as a supervisor position, one of them for a major electrical company, and they were in an in-state move, and we had to do a relocation with them. Was able to find them a home, was able to work with the relocation company there. Another one was taking over one of the industries here in town, and they were moving from out of state, and there again had to work with a relocation company, and we were able to find them a beautiful home as well. So if you're moving in state or out of state and you do have to work with a relocation company, let me know. I'd be happy to work with them and you in order to find you a new home.
Yeah, and it really is important to have somebody too that's on your side that knows the area when you're working with your relocation company as well. Somebody that knows the area that can help you find the home and be in the area that you want to be in. So definitely a pro.
Communicate with that reload company.
No doubt, no doubt. So in addition to some great employment opportunities here in Stuarts Draft, one of the other great things about Stuarts Draft is its cost of living. Definitely a pro. It has a lower cost of living by at least 5% than the rest of the United States, and housing is approximately 8% less, according to payscale.com. Of course, that's just makes it a lot easier for you to have more money to do the things with that you want to do with it. And here, right now, for example, the average house, just at this particular moment, is on the market here in Stuarts Draft, is about $295,000, which is about $176 a square foot. If we were to take that and we were to compare, if you made $100,000, let's say, and you lived in Alexandria, Virginia,
okay,
if you were to move to Stuarts Draft, in order to keep your same lifestyle of living in Alexandria, you'd only have to make $67,000. It has a big difference here. It's about a third off. I mean, it's only 2/3 of it. And as you can see, the housing in Alexandria by itself, I mean, Northern Virginia, it's expensive.
Yes.
And I mean, it's 55% less than what you're paying for a house in Northern Virginia. And of course, you can get a lot more house, with the money that you have down here. Likewise, just even across the mountain over in Charlottesville, okay? Over in Charlottesville, you're looking at another 15% or so for housing just over in Charlottesville. And so it's more expensive to live over there. Charlottesville, it does have more amenities and have more things going on in Charlottesville, but you can get a lot more house over here in the Shenandoah Valley and in Stuarts Draft in particular than you can in other places locally and nationally as well. No doubt there's probably places in the country that are cheaper as well, but overall, Stuarts Draft is cheaper than most of the United States. Here's an example, and these numbers are within the last year, but you can see the average home price in Stuarts Draft sold for about $321,000 last year, and you see the range there, and don't look for the $35,000 house. Those are usually the ones that get pushed in and they buy it for the price of the lot to rebuild something. Not always, but a lot of times. And you see the range there all the way up to $725,000 was the largest home that sold in Stuarts Draft last year. But the key that I want you to notice here is that on this particular slide is that the days on the market. Properties do not stay on the market very long in Stuarts Draft.
Yeah.
And you see the median last year was only 6 days. It's less than a week. So, and we've seen that goes on the market. We had a home here in our neighborhood on the market, 3 days gone. And so if you're interested in a home in Stuarts Draft, you'll want to make sure you're pre-approved. You'll want to make sure that you're ready, you have a loan and proof of funds, and that you're ready to put an offer on a house. And in some cases, you may even have to be ready to escalate your offer over the asking price.
Right.
We're not seeing quite as many escalations or quite as many multiple offers on homes as we did last year, but we're still getting them. Yeah, last year we were seeing 15 and 20. This year we're seeing 3 or 4 sometimes, right. So. But like I say, be ready, and that will be your best way to help you get into a home when it does come onto the market here in Stuarts Draft.
Definitely. So those of you who like to work from home, so we got to have some internet speed. Let's go, let's go. How is the internet speed here in Stuarts Draft?
That's a pro.
It's a pro.
No doubt.
Okay. So how fast is that upload and download?
So here in Stuarts Draft, basically your biggest cable company is Xfinity, part of Comcast, and your upload speed is going to be approximately 1,200 megabytes, and then your download speed is going to be approximately 1,200 megabytes. And your upload, that's where it would be on the 1,000 side of upload, but some of the fiber optic cables companies are starting to come into the areas as well, which is going to raise that. But right now it's only a 35 megabyte upload speed, and so that's the only reason that it's not. This map is not different with 1,000, but most of what you're seeing here has that 1,000 download speed at least. I definitely think another pro of living in Stuarts Draft well is the schools. Overall, the schools are above average. And if you look here, the school district, one of the things about it, you see they're just a little above average as far as the rest of the school districts go. But one of the things that Stuarts Draft is very known for is their athletic teams. And they've been very competitive over multiple years, but especially the last 10 years or so. As a matter of fact, here you see a picture of Riverheads High School. Now, Riverheads doesn't sit in Stuarts Draft. It sits out of Stuarts Draft over on the other side of Interstate 81, actually. But part of the children in Stuarts Draft that go to high school do go to Riverheads High School. And for the last 7 years, they've won the Class 1 Virginia State High School Football Championship. And that's quite a feat. And next year, because they've grown in size, they're moving up into the 2A classification. So be interested to see next year. So additionally, here in town, Stuarts Draft High School, their cheerleaders have had a fantastic 5-year run now of winning the Virginia High School League State Cheerleading Championships. And in addition to that, Stuarts Draft also in 2021, their football team in Class 2A was runners-up in the state, missed it by that much. But and then also back to Riverhead, you know, they won a couple baseball championships within the last 10 years as well. So very good sports area for the teams. And yet I don't think it's necessarily the academics aren't sacrificed on that, because they do have above average academics. And here's the middle schools. You can get an idea. There's 3 middle schools that your child would attend if they live here in the Stuarts Draft area. Elementary schools living here in the Stuarts Draft area. And then as far as middle schools go, there's a couple of middle schools as well. One is actually up in Stanton that they go to, kind of just different how they break things up. And the other one is right here in Stuarts Draft, and both of those are above average. And of course, I mentioned the high school athletics. Well, both of them also get a B rating as well when it comes to the academics. And if you're looking for a private school, there is a Christian school here in the area that's been around for quite a few years. And as you can see as well, they have an above average ranking according to niche.com as well. Of course, the best way to know about the school systems, there's a lot of other websites that you can check out as well to check those out. And one of the best ways is to talk to people who live here and just experience the schools as well. I think one final pro of living in Stuarts Draft, and we talk about this in all the towns up here in the Shenandoah Valley, but I really do. I think it's the climate. It's not too hot and it's not too cold. Now, it can get hot and it can get cold, but it doesn't stay that way very long. And I know, for example, when we moved in years ago, we had a swimming pool that was in our backyard, and we decided to get rid of the pool because we just didn't use it. And now there's other folks, a lot of folks do have pools here in the area, but for us, it just wasn't a thing.
It's hot enough for a long enough period of time.
Yeah, exactly. That was for us. But anyway, like I say, according to bestplaces.net, the summertime climate is rated as an 8.7 out of 10, and the wintertime climate is a 5.7. And while it can get cold, it usually doesn't get below 0. And every once in a while, maybe. And then, like I say, it doesn't stay that long. It doesn't stay that way very long. And as far as very hot days go here in Stuarts Draft, you're looking at about 15 and a half days every year where the temperature gets over 90 degrees. Only 15 days.
Yeah.
Now, if you go down across the mountain into Charlottesville area, you're looking at double, okay? Yeah, it's double. It's about 30 days, okay? And its climate's still nice over there, don't get me wrong, but it's just that much cooler up here that only half the time that gets over 90 down there gets up here. That's right. And in the wintertime as well, I mentioned it doesn't get cold for long extended periods of time. As a matter of fact, there was about 20 and a half inches of snow, and you say, well, the national average is 28. That's correct, and so it actually has less than the national average, even living up here in the valleys. Now, if you live on top of a mountain, you're probably going to get a little bit more than normal just because of the elevation changes. But even within the valley, we can see difference in the snowfall as the valley rises and it goes down. Exactly. And but like I say, as far as cold days go throughout the year, there's really not that many cold days. And then you can see here also in this chart that the amount of days when there's more than an inch of snow on the ground, there just isn't that many days of the year where there's at least 1 inch of snow on the ground. So climate, I say it's plus. It's a plus. So that being said, I hope that the pros and cons here have helped you get a little bit better understanding of what Stuarts Draft has to offer. And, I'm sure there are other pros and there are other cons about Stuarts Draft. But as far as if you're looking for a rural setting and a country living, most places, a lot of great views. you would love Stuarts Draft Virginia. And you know, I mean, the schools are a little bit smaller as well, and so it's just that real country town type feel. And although the town is growing, it still has that feel and good employment opportunities here as well. So like I say, if you're interested in Stuarts Draft or Lexington or Charlottesville, or maybe you have a home here in Stuarts Draft, Lexington, Charlottesville, Waynesboro, Stanton, Fishersville, Harrisonburg. I can name them all. And you know, if you're looking to sell, if you're looking to buy, you know, pick up the phone, give us a call.
Absolutely.
Shoot us that text. We really are excited when we're able to help folks get into a home they love or help them as they sell their home. We want that experience to be a top-notch experience, and then it will go smoothly for you, so there's as much the least amount of stress as possible. So like we always say, though, at the end of every video, until the next time, we'll see you around town.